my opinion, rant, whatever you want to call it, on getting sent home from school. Luckily, I get to stay, but not everyone gets to stay, so I still feel pretty bad about it. Um, but yeah, enjoy, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think. See ya. So, it is September 3rd. Beautiful town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, even though it downpoured today, has hit the fan. Let me tell you. Oh my god. Over the past, like, week, I want to say, we've had like 60 plus cases out of nowhere. When we came into school having like one. So that's happening. This shit is crazy. People are freaking out. Anxiety's high. People are home. You know how many people left school by now, bro? Like, it's been tons. Like, tons of people in my grade, which frustrates me. It's like the last year of college, and you don't want to spend your last year of college at home. The decisions you make matter even more now, because if you and gather in big groups and you get COVID, you're not only fucking yourself, but you're fucking everybody else who wants to stay on campus. Jesus, that campus is weird. I just don't understand how people get away with the shit they do, and it just gets blamed on other people. I don't get it. It's like rocket science. I'm not stressing about it because I know, like, as much as you don't want people to get sick and all that type of stuff, like, the school has us back for a reason. Like, they need us here. Like, we need to be here. The school wants their money. The students want the experience. It's a mutual understanding. But if people keep coming down positive, it's only a matter of time before.
And here we go.
Oh man. This is a video I did not think I was going to have to make. I did think I was going to have to make this video at some point, but not now. Let's get into the... So, I got to school August 7th. Today is September 8th, and almost the whole school is at home. Now, everyone's probably wondering what led to us getting sent home. Yes, the school said, like, basically it's up to you guys. Now, when the school says that to a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds, that you pretty much have to follow our rules to the T, like robots, how do you think that's going to go? The school's whole mantra for this semester was better together. Better together. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say no one was together with the students. It wasn't together. It was more like we were subordinates. We were told exactly what to do, and we had to follow it to a T, or else there were supposed to be repercussions. Now, when I got to school, one of the earlier people to show up, there was already shit happening. Where was the school then to nip it in the bud? Where was it? Where was the school then to nip the inevitable idiots, like I said in the last video, that ruin it for people? And let me just say this. I'm a part of Greek life, and I'm not saying Greek life is fucking perfect, but you gotta find individuals or small groups of individuals who mess it up for everybody else. You can't just blame an entire denomination of people. Denomination of people. Denomination just isn't the right word for that. Oh my gosh. Because they are the ones who are your scapegoat for every little thing that goes wrong. You can't. Yes, people are part of organizations, but people are still people in the end. People are going to do what they want to do. It's not like the organization has control over what people do every second of the day. The organization has no control over that. That goes for sports teams as well. A coach can say so many things to adults in college to get them to follow it, but at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. With that being said, you are the administration. What you say goes, right? And you say that you're going to enforce these rules in order to keep people on campus, correct? So when I get here and I already know about parties going on, like, I'm not going to name names or name organizations or anything like that, but you had a set rubric that you sent out to the whole. What is in my beard? You had a whole rubric you sent to the school saying first offense, this, second offense, this, third offense, this. Yet, Joe Schmo down there is throwing a party with fucking 50 people, and they're just all leaving at the same time, and nothing happens. Like, friggin' Sally from down the block is going on a boat and catching coronavirus from who knows who. Like, I just don't understand how you put these plans in place. You do these things to try to ensure that we would stay on campus. Yet a month goes in, and you just say, "All right, cut it." You can't just uproot 20 something hundred kids. You can't do that to people. These are human beings. You can't just tell them, "Oh, you got a day, 2 days till you gotta leave." We pay you to go here. I mean, you took our money, kicked us out, and said, "We're going to keep the people who we can control, aka freshmen, and we're going to say, all right, the people who have been here for 3-4 years already, fuck them." Now, we have a president, a newer president, fairly new, probably a year, maybe, not even a full year into his term, that does not know a thing about this school. Let me tell you, no matter who you like or don't like, this campus is pretty tight knit. Yeah, everyone has their groups, but when it affects all of us, it affects all of us. And it's to the point where we put differences aside and say, hey, so the president had we had a protest, we had a discussion, I'll call it. And the president came and listened to our concerns about how going home makes 0 sense. Now, before I go and try to explain what happened at this discussion, we were on national news. Dr. Fauci, who's been handling this thing for who knows how long, said the worst thing you can do is send students home. Right? Who knows what these kids are bringing back to their parents, to their siblings, to their elderly relatives. Like me personally, my dad's in healthcare, and I have 2 siblings who go to school. At my mother's house, I have my mother, I have my grandmother, I have my aunt, I have my brother, and I have my nephew. So if I come home with something, I know I don't have anything, but if I come home with something, they all get screwed. And my father in healthcare, that can't happen. Nah, can't. So even if I wanted to go home, I can't. So a great question was asked at this discussion. A student said, What about my mother who is sick? And if you are so hell bent on sending us home, why wouldn't you test us before we got sent home so we don't pass these things on to our families? Because she had a sick mom and she couldn't go home because she doesn't want to get her mom sick. And somehow the question got glossed over. That seems like a pretty important question to me, don't you think? Logically, if you put people in a quarantine, put the whole student body in a quarantine, can't leave, for a certain amount of time, cases are bound to go down. Bound to go down. That's how you flatten the curve. Limit contact of all costs. I don't care if we had 100 cases. Lock us up. Lock us up. I know it sucks. It sucks. It feels like a prison. But would you rather be a prisoner at school with your friends or at home with your parents? That was my first thought. You're gonna put us at home miserable. For people who are staying and had to say goodbye to each one of their friends as they go, do you know the emotional toll that takes on people? I'm sitting in my room and I have to dap up every one of my boys as they are literally, the look on their face tells it all. The depression sets in. I'm hugging each one of my friends and every single hug is like a gut punch. A gut punch. Because we got sent home in March. We waited all this time patiently. Came back with almost no positive tests. And then we get our money taken. And then magically 2 days later, it's like, they're gone. How can you sit here and tell a whole student body to their face that this wasn't your idea from the beginning? Yeah, we're not slow over here, Bob. We're not slow. You might think you're all smart, comes from Harvard. Oh, sorry. You think that we're stupid? This man goes, how many of you guys have actually been following the quarantine? The whole protest raises their hand. He's like, oh, it's better than most. We want to work with you, but you're not working with us. In fact, you're people that have been here and put great time into this college. But I don't think this man understands. When you come in to a new place, and granted, the situation this man came in on, ass. You came in during COVID season. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna blame you for that. That sucks. But you can't portray this better together. Give us all these rules, all these guidelines to follow, all these things, preparing for the year, all these adjustments, preparing for the year, and call it quits after a month, and then keep the kids here who haven't done anything. I'm not saying the freshmen are to blame. It's not their fault at all that they get to stay. I just see it as motivations behind this thing were all wrong. All wrong. Motivation to kick us out, first of all. He kept saying, oh, well, we didn't expect to get 66 cases. So are you saying that this is our fault, Bob? You saying this is our fault? When you could have been keeping people in check with your rubrics that you sent out? Oh, but you didn't keep people in check. So how are you supposed to blame the students then? There's always a few bad apples in the basket. Go find those apples. Don't dump out the whole basket. It's almost sickening that the school gave us a tease, almost. A month away from home, it was like a vacation, pretty much. We were here, everyone was chilling with their friends for the first time in who knows how long, and then they get the slightest hint of issue, the slightest hint of problem, and they said, alright, well, these kids don't really matter to us, so we're just going to send them home. We're going to keep the freshmen because they give us the most money, and boom. Someone said there's going to be more suicide deaths in students than there will be COVID deaths from what you're doing sending us home at the protest. They said this at the protest. And whoo, did that hit. Did that hit. I don't know if people are going to go killing themselves. That's not my thing to talk about. But I can tell you what, the depression that you're sending people in, it's almost inhumane. Almost. It's almost like just because you need your money to stay afloat, you're disregarding all of the feelings of your students. There is no school without students. It is what it is. You are ripping people from the experience that they are trying to have in the midst of a pandemic that has caused so much loss. So the president of this school, I'm not saying your job ain't hard, yo. You have it rough. You have a tough job in a time of the world where everyone is going through it. But in terms of considering every scenario, I feel like you missed the mark, bud. I really do. Bringing us here as early as you did and sending us home as early as you did, what was the point? Was it the money? That's what we're all thinking. Do you think that anyone that has been sent home from school is ever going to put any type of money back into this school? We're smart people. People from this place go places, and doing this, you ruin relationships. You ruin them. You ruin your potential gain in the future. If you're home right now, getting sent home from school, just know, like, it's temporary. At some point, a vaccine for this thing will be made, and after that, the world is going to be much more. It's the world. The world morale is going to be up. Just know that it's temporary, and nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. To my boys who got sent home, to all my friends, my class, the class below me who I thoroughly enjoy, I feel bad for y'all. I do. I feel bad for us, man. Just think about better times. Think about better times, because this shit is. And I know me saying this ain't gonna help the situation right now, but it'll get better soon. It'll get better soon. Dose.